Taurus, there is a big, somewhat trippy message coming through, and it's coming through as a bit of a warning. Okay, don't fear. There's nothing to fear. Okay, Spirit's here to give you information or confirmation about something that's going on now, or that has been, or that's coming up for you. It might actually, this message might run through multiple timelines. There's like a continuation of some kind of situation or experience you're having. So I was sitting in meditation and oh man, I got a lot and it's kind of strange. So I'm going to go through that. And then after I got those messages, I pulled a card to see what the overall theme of the reading is for you. And we have warning. And this definitely feels like something is up. Now you are getting a heads up. So this means that I feel intuitively that there is some kind of action you could take or something you should know in order to see something clearly. I already feel like you're protected. I do. Like, honestly, I really, really feel that. But it feels like you might have to invoke this protection that you have. It feels like this is not something that you should just sit back and let happen or do nothing about. You have to take some kind of action, or I'm hearing distribute some kind of energy, distribute something. I don't know, to invoke this protection that's afforded to you. Okay, Taurus. If this message does not resonate with you, that is okay. It does not have to be your message, not at all. You're in control, you're in charge. So you could check out your other sign placements, the collective readings I do, or another channel, of course, another reader who's more resonating with you at this time, because this does feel like it's for a select few in the Taurus collective, or those of you with a lot of Taurus energy. If it's not your sun sign, it could be somewhere else in your chart. The first thing I heard was take your time. It's important you take your time so that you don't miss some kind of critical step that you need to take. This has to do with responding to something, taking a particular action, and then I also got the word balancing. It feels like the approach that you need to take is like temperance energy. You need to balance the energy of fire and water, of like passion and action and like doing something with intuition and right timing and flow. And a little bit of softness, I even feel it could be required here. So the right time is important, taking your time and balancing the way that you respond or act in this situation. Some of you might already know what this is about, but if you don't know, we will get more cards out and figure it out, of course. And then I also feel like, as all readings are, as all energy is, it's a spectrum, right? Like I'm hearing a continuum even, but there's levels to this energy. Some of you might be experiencing this pretty substantially, like it might be affecting you quite a lot. It could be quite extreme, this situation. And then for others of you, it just might be something minor, but it's coming through like this to get your attention for sure. Okay. When the warning card comes out, Spirit wants your attention. Then I heard the train comes on a schedule. And it felt like this is you being able to have foresight into something. You'll know when something is coming. And if you miss something, you'll know when it will come back again. Okay, so there's something about a predictability or a pattern that is timed that you can use to your advantage. Now, here's where things got strange. I heard event horizon, which had me Googling. So I Googled event horizon, and of course it's a movie from 1997. That could be a significant year for you. Also, it was released on August 15th. That could be another important date for you. But I haven't seen that movie in ages, and I barely remember it, and it's pretty intense, the movie plot line. But as far as I read and remember, there's a spaceship that goes missing. It gets lost in Neptune's orbit. And Neptune is the planet of illusion, dreaminess, confusion. It can be creativity as well, but because of this message and the vibe that's coming through, I feel like here it's representing illusion. And I think the spaceship goes missing for about 7 years. This is all part of your message. It's a metaphor. And then it returns, or people find it, a rescue crew finds it, and it comes back with this kind of malevolent force on board. So there might be some kind of return from something that disappeared 7 years ago, or maybe it's not 7 years, it could be 7 months, or that time frame might not be applicable to you, but there could be a return in spirit. I even wrote down here, caution. Have caution with this return of energy. In the movie, the spaceship is not just any ordinary spaceship. It can fold space and time. And this causes some issues for the crew on board. And one of the things that I read here is that there was a distress signal coming from the ship, and it sounded like a series of screams and howls. But the doctor, I guess in the rescue crew, and I put in brackets the healer, right? Because this is a metaphor for the healer, right? But the doctor in the movie believes he hears the phrase, liberate me. And then later on in the movie, they come to realize that the whole phrase that they're hearing is liberate yourself from hell, or liberate me from hell. Okay? And the crew, when they're lost in orbit, in Neptune's orbit, they begin experiencing hallucinations corresponding to their fears and regrets. And I feel like this is somebody else that you know, or that's in your orbit, that's in your field, that may be returning. This could be, for a very small number of you, a warning not to get lost in your fears and create hallucinations for yourself. Your mind is super powerful, especially if you're working actively with spirit or magic or divination. You want to be very consciously aware and have a lot of intention behind your thoughts. And when those fearful thoughts come up, you want to observe those thoughts for what they are, fears, and not fuel them with more of your divine energy. Because this is where that manifestation has a shadow side as well, like everything. Everything has light and shadow. So it is possible to manifest fears into reality if we give them a lot of energy. And it seems like there's something here where Spirit's saying, you may be manifesting, conjuring, bringing up, or fearful of that happening, fearful of bringing up or something returning that's linked to a fear or a possible regret you have. Okay, but I feel like that's just for a small number of you, because the first thing I said for you is there's no fear here. So I feel like for most of you, you're not in a fearful place, which is amazing, nor do I think you should be. I don't. But I do feel like you should exercise some caution, because there is someone else, or a group of people, since it says the crew, who is kind of lost in a hallucination, an illusion that has manifested from their own fears and regrets. Okay? And if this is someone from the past, I'm just saying it doesn't have to be, but if it is, it's like they're coming back with intensified energy. Okay? That you should be cautious of. Now, for some of you, it's not a person coming back, it's something else going on. This could be something that you're witnessing someone else go through, or this could be at work in some way. I'm not sure. But the event horizon in astrophysics refers to a boundary beyond which events cannot affect the outside observer. So that's where I'm getting that you're protected. There's a boundary between you observing this spaceship coming back around, right? There's a boundary between you and this event, and this event cannot affect you unless you allow it to, of course. We have free will. but it's like there's a invisible line here, a shield. Something is far, far away, but it almost feels like somebody would like to collapse space and time to orbit back around into your field. Okay, Taurus, what is going on here? I was not anticipating this energy at all when I came to sit down to do this reading, but here we are with this warning. Okay, so let's get in and see what's going on. I'm going to pull another card on top of warning to just clarify this. Now, maybe you want to pay attention to crows or blackbirds. That just flew out of my hand there. They could be getting you to look at something. So when you see a crow or you hear a crow or something like that, think about what it is that you're doing at the time. What are you thinking? Pay attention to what happens shortly thereafter. Okay, these could be helpful guides for you. Tell me more about this warning. We have Sphinx, ancient wisdom, and Sun, vitality. This is your access to these guides, like the raven or the crow, spirit guide, helping you, facilitating you in taking the right steps and taking your time. You're receiving a lot of clues ahead of time. I want to say this. It doesn't feel like something's just going to pop out of nowhere. The train comes on a schedule. So I don't feel like you're going to be taken by surprise, but you have to stay perceptive and remember that something is a little bit strange and off. Okay? Vitality and Sphinx, Sun and ancient wisdom. This could be something karmic in nature, playing out over lifetimes. It feels like the more information you have or the more wisdom you draw upon to comprehend or even deal with this situation, to respond or act in a certain way, will help you. Ancient wisdom. Hold on. Can you tell me more about what ancient wisdom means here? The Nine of Wands. This is about continuing to fight, continuing to protect yourself, understanding that there is a boundary between you and someone that you've been kind of up against, or something that you've been up against. Maybe you want to look into the concept of event horizon, or maybe think about the way that the ancestors or those who came before us interpreted signs and synchronicities related to astrology. Yeah, I feel like you could do a little digging there into symbolism or ancient information. Okay. Let's see the energy supporting you, Taurus. By the way, happy belated birthday. This doesn't seem like a great birthday message, but I would like a heads up in case too, right? I'm a Taurus as well. So, a heads up is always good. Let's see, the energy supporting Taurus, Spirit. What is the energy supporting Taurus? We have arrow and pitchfork. These are going in different directions. This reminds me of Sagittarius energy, 62 and 64. Let's see the energy challenging you before I interpret that. There could be, there's two ways to go about a situation here. We have eye and pipe, which reminds me of that painting. This is not a pipe. If you're familiar with it, there's something that seems like it's obvious, but if you pay closer attention to it and you observe, you'll see that it's not actually what it seems, or there's something else going on here. it's interesting because I chose these decks and I haven't used them in a long time, and they are very symbolic and a little bit cryptic. Like, they're not very straightforward. So this feels like whatever this event horizon situation is could be something that's a little bit obscured, or like a puzzle, like a mystery, an investigation of some sort, or you're going to have to piece something together. It could also be that the message here is important and clear and specific, but the circumstances surrounding what's going on are very different for each of you. I'd like to know more though, Spirit. It would be helpful. If we could get more information, more clarity. Can you tell me about this pitchfork arrow? See, it's like you could go either way here. You could choose the pitchfork or you could choose the arrow. And the arrow on the table as it's laid out is pointing to ancient wisdom. So it feels like Spirit wants you to take an action that is in alignment with your highest good, the highest good of all, that ancient wisdom that you have access to, something that resonates with your sense of growth and vitality. Because it feels like it's possible to have a negative reaction here. Or to get involved in a cycle that isn't yours, that you're already protected from. Tell me more about this energy, Spirit, for the support. The Oak Guardian, threshold, answers, and open mind. And then this card came out. Transformation, knowledge, and magic. Be very cautious and intentional about what you're creating in your mind, with your hands, with your voice, with your pen. What words are you choosing? What are you saying? You don't have to get lost in analysis paralysis, but everything matters here. Some of you are going to write a letter, or you're going to be asked to communicate something to, I don't know, and you just need to put some thought into it. Take your time. Careful not to miss a step. Right? And then this is reminding me of throwing things in a cauldron, and the frog is very important, that you put the frog in there and then you miss it, and then what you concoct is actually not what you wanted to concoct. And the frog is a symbol of rebirth and transformation. Is very a positive sign and symbol. So don't forget that frog. Don't forget your own transformation and your own rebirth and the leap of faith that you took on yourself, because that's an important key ingredient as you respond or act in this situation. It feels like you're on the threshold of learning a lot of information about something that has been on your mind, maybe for the past 7 years, I don't know, but for a while. And I can resonate with this a little bit. It's not directly related to me. It's somebody that I know, but there's a lot of questions around something. And we've been trying to figure something out. And it's we just can't get that answer. And Spirit keeps telling me it's not time. It's not time. Fate is happening. Things are unfolding. Things are in motion, right? So you can't get it just yet. So it could be something similar for you. But this feels like your actions really matter here. Someone might ask you a question, ask you to give them an answer to something. Make sure you understand the question. It might not be asking you what you think it's asking you. There could be another question hidden underneath. I don't know. Okay, let's get one of these, Spirit. What's going on here? Waterproof. Yeah, this is the event horizon. This is you not being affected. I feel like it's not being affected emotionally from this situation. Somebody could be trying to aggravate you, irritate you. Someone could be asking you to liberate them in some way. And you need to tell them to liberate themselves. There's also, sorry, Taurus, I just got a vibe there. Just clearing the energy. There's also someone trying to get you into a hellish situation. Like they're trying to rope you into some drama. I don't like it. This may come up, okay, or it may not. Okay. But if it's not already going on now. Again, it's nothing to be fearful of. I also feel like there is an element here about being cautious about anticipation. Like, it almost feels like you need to take, like, there's an energy like, I need to know now, I need to take action. Like, what if this, what if that, or uh-oh, you know? And Spirit's saying, take your time. The train runs on a schedule. You're protected by this event horizon. Observe, plan. The challenge, standing stones, ancestors, gateways, and sacred. And peace walker, peace, gentle, and forward. There's that soft energy. I know, I'm hearing the soft energy I know is needed. Okay, so you could feel like you know you need to bring some kind of other energy to this situation. There's a symbol. Maybe it's a sigil or an amulet or like, I don't know, something that you wear or something that's around you or hanging in your home that's very protective for you. Okay, let's get into the tarot and see what the heck this is all about. Let me know if this resonates for you, if you want. I do enjoy hearing how the readings are actually playing out for different people. And it's amazing because the same energy will resonate for various situations for people in really, like, it seems, as they tell me, as you tell me, significant ways. 10 of Wands for your overall energy. Some of you are taking an active role in some kind of dispute or situation because it's not just, okay, there's an injustice here, or because you know how to fix it, you know the answer. I feel like that's a very Taurian quality, is like to know what needs to get done, and you're just like, okay, well, I'm just going to do it because no one else can. It's not the most humble thought, but it is a Taurus kind of trait, and I'm sensing that here. It's like, you know what needs to be done, or you know how to do it, but there could be something where you kind of have to release that control. Okay, Spirit, can we get back in here? Tell me more. What's the challenge here? Thank you. Ooh. Yeah. I haven't had one of these readings in a while. Seems like it's about that time. Train comes on a schedule. Okay, Taurus. There's many ways to interpret this energy and the cards that are coming through. But I'm just going to kind of say an overall thing, and then I'll go through each placement one by one. The overall message that I'm seeing here is to not get involved with something. To not put energy into something, or to make it known that you are not interested in boarding this ship to steer it back to course. Okay, you are not interested in that. And it might be challenging because someone could really plead a case to you that they need your help, or they miss you potentially, or that they'll be lost without you. This kind of thing. And you might have to do something that feels a little bit difficult. It feels like there's this boundary around you, this protective shield, this border, and somebody has found a way or is trying to find a way to collapse that, to affect you. Now, I don't know if this is intentional. It must be. Is it? Spirit, is this intentional? Mirror with fish and key. Look at this fish. It looks like a piranha. Somebody, there is a hallucination here, right? It's like this fish is looking in the mirror and they're seeing themselves as maybe vicious or hungry for something. I don't know. It feels like somebody is maybe seeing their own shadow in a sense. For some reason, you have the key. Spirit, I don't want to leave this so nebulous. I mean, can we find out more about this energy before I go through the cards? What's going on here? Oh, another fish. This one says, good fortune, abundance and prosperity are flowing into your life now. Open your arms to receive. And it's in reverse. Somebody is coming definitely from a lack mindset, from a place of fear, from a place of feeling even desperation. Like they're ready to bite if they need to in some way. Or they're seeing like an ugly aspect of them, because they feel like they've lost some kind of fortune or fortunate situation. Is there anything else I could say to help identify this or clarify this, Spirit? We have the Lovers in reverse. Find the exit. You are wrapping up this chapter of your life. It's time to move on gracefully now. This is about some kind of contract or connection that you left, that you exited, okay? That you said, I'm no longer involving myself with this energy, with this entity, with this person. And it doesn't have to be love. It could be a job that you left. It could be a landlord that you said deuces to, you know, like this could be anything, right? Whatever it is that you're dealing with. And then we have otherworldly in reverse, storm in reverse, protection, see? There it is. But you have to invoke it, right? I had to pick it up. You have to invoke it. Okay. Protection and full of hope. Hold on to your dreams as they begin to come to fruition. Focus your clear intention. Right. So maybe you want to say to yourself, I am protected. Or if this is about something that has literal actionable steps that you can take to protect yourself, do it. You might have to document something. The train schedule, I'm hearing. Maybe you want to document the train schedule. This could be a metaphor. When certain things are happening, when certain energies arrive, or notices, or emails, or communications, something like that. But see, this otherworldly storm beyond the event horizon is in reverse here. It can't affect you. And it is because you're focused on better things, or you have other things that are growing for you. Your dreams are beginning to bud and blossom. I'm getting something about scapegoating. Someone could be using you as a scapegoat for something or wanting to. Okay, your overall energy, we have the 10 of Wands. This is stress, carrying a heavy load, a lot of weight. Let's see, why? Why? What is this about for Taurus? We have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse and the Lovers in reverse. There could be something kind of interfering with your independence or your financial abundance or your stability in some sense. Some of you are getting ready to break a contract or break a union, get out of something, and there's worries and concerns about how you will proceed with good fortune in the future. This is where that ancient wisdom comes in. It's which means like tap into that place in you, that source in you that remembers and knows that you're abundant. And that abundance doesn't have to be thought of as something monetary or like material. It could just be the feeling of like everything and anything is available to you. There's something about tapping in and tuning into that frequency of abundance, the abundance matrix over the lack matrix, changing your language that you use to make sure that you're using language that is affirmative rather than destructive or fearful. The Moon for what you don't see coming. I think this is that ship returning from Neptune's orbit. They disappeared. Distress signal consists of a series of screams and howls, but the doctor believes he hears "liberate me." There could have been a situation here where maybe somebody was screaming and howling, okay, literally, or like they were having a tantrum, they were out of control emotionally, or they they were vexed, okay? They were vexed in some way, or I don't know, they were having some kind of outburst, but maybe the healer aspect in you, which you do have, identified that distress that that person was displaying as a cry for help, which it is. But just because someone has a cry for help, and especially if it's coming through in a projected way of anger, you know, doesn't mean you should respond to it or can respond to it. Okay, so there could have been a situation in the past or maybe even present where you're like, I know this person needs help and I know they're just acting out because of that. But this is not this outburst. What do I say? Yeah, Ten of Swords. This pain and this cruelty and this coffin that this person has trapped themselves in with their thoughts and their emotions is not an experience or an event or situation that needs to be in your world. It's an other world, a storm in another world. So the Moon for what you don't see coming, because I'm talking so much about this emotional outburst, it could be that. Someone could get really emotional and lash out or be very disagreeable in some way. Tell me more about the Moon. Ten of Swords again and the Chariot. Okay, Taurus, I'm just telling you, it's kind of obvious here. It's like you expected maybe something was long and gone and done and over, okay, or that somebody wasn't as upset as they really are. They are very upset. There is somebody here who's very upset behind the scenes. And they've been keeping it quiet. But there's something incoming that is going to reveal that emotional turmoil or that sense of betrayal or desperation. It's really some sense of desperation that somebody feels. And it's because they feel like you're getting away with something or that you've gotten away or that you're moving on, that you have a vehicle to drive forward with in life and maybe they don't. They feel trapped and stuck. Now your opportunity is judgment. And I feel like this is something about you making a judgment call, quite literally. It's up to you what you want to do. Do you want to bring this into your world? Do you want to resurrect something? Does something harsh need to be said? Is there something soft that needs to be said? Maybe that's the balance, right? Like doing both. I'm also getting like this nagging feeling that this is about something, for some of you, this is about something like kind of strange, something that you don't typically deal with. Like some strange, maybe it's like an issue with a contractor, or I don't know, just like something odd here, or maybe something legal. That's for some of you. And it's weird. It feels weird and strange how somebody is acting. Like they're hallucinating almost. It's like kind of like, huh? Warning. Spirit, why does Taurus need to be warned? Why does Taurus need to be warned? 9 of Cups. Ace of Pentacles. 4 of Wands, because there's something here that you've manifested. Then I have the Magician in reverse at the bottom. And that you've been wishing for, let's say it that way, that you've been wishing for with the 9 of Cups, that would bring you a lot of happiness, some kind of opportunity in the world. Maybe it's a place to live, a new place here. There's a celebration, maybe a job offer, a new relationship. I don't know. There's something here that's new, that's tangible in your hand, that you want, that you hoped for, and that is a cause for celebration. And Spirit's warning you about this so you can get on top of this before it pulls you away from this, or so that you could protect this from this situation. Okay? Somebody could be jealous of something that you have or that you're working towards, or want to sabotage it in some way. It's probably a good idea. I feel guided to just say this, 3737 on the timestamp there. It's probably a good idea to be private about your gains and your wins. It's not that you can't share things with others, but the more people know, the more they can twist and turn things and, disrupt them and sabotage them and get in the middle of it or turn them against you. I don't know. There's something about like keeping things private, and only those who need to know should know. So this could be like things about where you live or how you live or who you live with, or like things like this. There's something here with the 4 of Wands, which represents home, that is important, or the job you have, how much money you make, things like that, that somebody probably doesn't need to know. Something about your victories and your successes. You have some kind of key information, some knowledge about something that you haven't shared. Maybe you have like an ace in your pocket, something that you've collected or learned. Okay, and you may want to just put that card on the table to get rid of this situation, but it might not be the right time for it, right? Take your time, careful not to miss a step. You could hold on to that information a little bit longer, or it could be useful later, something like that. Okay, 3 of Swords for the challenge. This is what somebody being upset and hurt, but like, see the hand on the head, it's like this, which I'm getting like woe is me kind of energy. And I feel like this could be somebody really trying to get sympathy, maybe from you or maybe from others. They're going to try to get sympathy. 10 of Cups. Something about them being upset about losing family, or something about family. Yeah, okay. This definitely could be someone you had in a relationship with. The Devil. Oof. And the 7 of Wands. But there's Wheel of Fortune. There's this sob story There is actual pain there. But that's not what they're not genuine. How do I say that? Caution, right? There's a return with a more malevolent force. You know, in this spaceship, when it came back from being lost, it came back with, like, now the ship was sentient and it was like, you know, a problem. It became a real problem, causing hallucinations, right? So someone's disruptive here, and they could be coming and telling you a story about, like, I missed this time, or we really miss you over here, and, you know, or I lost a lot and therefore I need this from Taurus. Some kind of story like that, where once everything was good and now they're just crushed, okay? But the devil showing up with the 7 of Wands, this is a message to defend yourself against the intentions that you maybe can't see, right? The pipe is not a pipe. Number 55, right? Look closer. There's something else here that's going on, which I feel like you already know and possibly see. Okay, so the advice, Page of Wands and 3 of Pentacles, very clear. This is like sending a message that I'm not going to work for you, or I'm not going to do this work, or I don't want to work it out. I don't want to find a solution. I don't care about whatever it is that you think I should care about, or maybe you do care about it, but you're kind of sending a message that you're not interested in getting involved here. There could be 3 people that are involved in a situation and you're saying no thank you to that. We have heartache again. Ring of Fire. You are being challenged to stand up for yourself and those you love while the heat is on. Then we have downloads in reverse, prisoner in reverse, and the Hangman. And this is that other energy, like just stuck, not receiving the divine guidance or not listening to it if they are. You know, it's just stuck. Prisoner. It is in reverse though, so they may be trying to free themselves from whatever is ailing them. Traveler, but they're doing it traveling back to you or traveling in your direction. You know, there could be an unexpected visit, okay? And Spirit's giving you a heads up. Yeah, maybe you want to do something to make sure, like, I don't know, to protect yourself in some way, or to document something, or to set like times. This is when you can come and this is when you can't, you know, this kind of thing. Okay, for the outcome in the next 3 months, and then I'm going to go into an extended reading. Oh boy, we're going to go a layer deeper and see what else is going on. I'm sure we're going to get more specific about the intentions and all of that. If you're interested, the link is in the description box below. But if you can't go to that or you don't want to, don't feel like you're missing out on key information, okay? Trust that Spirit knows that this was all you needed because this is all you wanted or all you could get at this time. So don't feel like anything's missing, because it's not. All the information you need is available to you. Okay, that's a message. 6 of Cups and Ace of Cups in reverse. This is also very clear. This is like about the past. Nostalgia could be about childhood or a previous connection that meant a lot to you, that was very formative to your development, all of that stuff, right? And this is saying no to that. That is, I'm not giving this another chance. Ace of Cups in reverse. I don't want to repeat that cycle. Or I feel differently now about the past than I used to. You're going to see that. You're going to understand that. You know, maybe in the past you would have given your cup to this situation, but you know what would have happened? If you gave your cup to the 6 of Cups, where do we go? We go to the 7 of Cups, which is confusion, illusion, shadow. So you know that. You know better. So you're saying, I'm leaving you beyond the event horizon. All right? So that's what I have for you, Taurus. Let me know what unfolds. I'll be very curious. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.